Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. Father and son die in house fire. Curfew now in effect in Grand Spen St. Andrew. And later in sports, Reggae Girls coach praises team despite Olympic elimination. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shamela Pullen. Here are the details. We begin with news of tragedy in Portmore Gardens in St. Catherine. It's where a 3-year-old boy and his father died in a house fire this morning. We have the details in this report.
The toddler's name was Cleon Williams. He started basic school just a month ago. This was the house he lived in with his father, Sherman. Across from it, their neighbor Henry McPherson sat outside on a stool. Moments earlier, he was running frantic to and from the burning house, throwing water and trying to get them outside. But the man, visibly saddened, was too late.
If 5 minutes earlier, probably 2 of them would have alive. But me little bit late-ish. The father me can come through to probably where me here. But condolences to the son. Couldn't help him. I try to do what we can do, the little where we could, the 2 we could have do.
Mr. McPherson said he suspected the child was on the bed inside the home and knew in his heart that the outcome could be tragic.
No, said the baby most likely would have on the bed. We throw water hard in the ceiling and so forth, so forth, so forth. But me know say the baby got hurt over there. To what me see, the fire where me see, and the fire where we go over there. Because when we bust off the door, catch it here.
Mr. McPherson and another resident saw the fire and immediately rushed to the home. The men called the fire brigade and continued pouring water until it arrived.
Throw some water, one leap of water with you, and the place kind of get cool. Fireman them arrive. When the fireman them arrive, the fire not really there. The smoke come out of the house. You know them do have to do the major cooling down. But basically, yeah. But I can't tell what go on inside of the house. Create the fire.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
To a TVJ News follow-up now, a 48-hour curfew has been imposed in Grand Spen St. Andrew. It began at 6 a.m. today and will remain in effect until 6 a.m. Friday. The community has been tense after a series of murders and shootings. Residents say they are living in fear. The details in this report. Until recently, Grand Spen in St. Andrew was enjoying some level of peace. The incidents of shootings and killings over the last few days have resulted in residents being uneasy.
I feel a type of way in which cause right now no party now keep boom Sundays lockdown and the people them feel fear. You know what I mean, due to what go on in the community, cause be innocent people are dead. Cause none out of all of the persons them will drop out so far. Not one gunman in it. And we feel a type of way now coming to say that really happened.
We have been told that so bad is the situation that some persons have been moving out and businesses have closed.
Now, I got to tell you, it affects business because people afraid to open a business place. You know? Yeah, I was a Joshua father, a film father, run the shop, and okay, oh, late you come, you can get something to buy this stuff. 2 o'clock, you come there so can get something to buy, but it's like, I mean, you know, why, John, we not even know what to go on for uncle.
Now, the all too familiar cry for peace, which will allow for the free movement of residents who say they're even fearful of visiting with neighbors.
And I'm going to go anywhere in the community, party on that side, party on that side, anywhere in the community. Say, yo, you can't go certain place because you're still in danger to get caught up in a wrong place, wrong time. You get me? So really and truly, and you don't maybe all family member, associates, or friends with people. I just true you live in a community and you go be friends and naturally everybody agree and good. And a man see all of deal with certain people where them want and them things they good, you automatically put yourself in danger because of other people, you know what I mean? So you know cross the line them dry and out.
The Ministry of Health is insisting that there are no classified dengue-related deaths at this time. Ministry officials provided the update at this morning's post-cabinet press briefing.
As of Friday, September 22, 2023, the country recorded 565 suspected, presumed, and confirmed cases of dengue. Of that number, 78 cases had been confirmed, with a majority of cases seen in Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, and St. Thomas. The dominant strain is dengue type 2, which last predominated in 2010. The majority of these cases are children between the ages of 5 and 14.
The opening hours at Type 3 to 5 health centers will also be extended starting Monday, October 2.
This will allow for persons to access the facilities to receive treatment and referrals where necessary. Also, as of Monday, October the 2nd, children under the ages of 18 years will, while visiting the University Hospital of the West Indies, not be charged a fee or required to pay for the services to this facility.
After 2 days of protests, residents of Jacks Hill in St. Andrew have agreed to clear the road. This is after a commitment from Transport Minister Darrell Vaz that their concerns about the state of the road will be addressed. Mr. Vaz explained that he's a regular user of the thoroughfare and intervened on the residents' behalf. The police are also in the area.
He come and assist us, and he's a man of his word, so he give us his word. We will help clear the road. The work agents will come as well. Officer them there help we as well. So actually him give me him number as well. I have Mr. Nesbet, SSP Nesbet number. So we're communicating and working together. So hopefully we'll get some road, and we believe in Mr. Vaz, so we know it will happen.
And things are back to normal now?
Everything is going back to normal. I give him a word just like I'm giving him my theme word. So we're thankful again, Mr. Vaz, and really appreciate it.
The police are reporting a major drug bust involving foreigners on the coast. Sometime around midnight, Jamaica Defense Force JDF Coast Guards in Black River, St. Elizabeth intercepted a vessel about 4 miles out at sea. Acting Commander of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Deputy Superintendent Coleridge Mento, said a search of the vessel revealed 4 men were on board who identified themselves as Nicaraguans.
This pier right at Black River. A further search of the vessel by the police revealed several bags containing vegetable matter resembling ganja.
The value of the drugs is not yet known, Mr. Minto said. The Area 3 narcotics team was contacted and the scene was processed.
4 men believed to be from Nicaragua were arrested and taken to the Black River CID, where the investigation will be further expanded.
It's time for a break. Stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. It's now time for the Business Minute.
Sagicor Financial Company says it has received the regulatory approvals to acquire Canada-based life insurance firm Ivari. Sagicor says the transaction is expected to close on or about October 3 this year, subject to the satisfaction of all closing conditions. Last year, Sagicor announced it was tipped to acquire Ivari, one of the largest provider of universal life insurance in Canada. The deal, once completed, will add $13.9 billion Canadian dollars to Sagicor's existing assets. In August 2022, Sagicor said the expected consideration to be paid in cash at close of the deal is $325 million Canadian dollars. Ivari is headquartered in Toronto with approximately 700,000 policyholders across Canada. On the international scene, JP Morgan Chase has reached a settlement with the U.S. Virgin Islands over a lawsuit alleging the bank enabled Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking crimes. The banking giant, which made significant commitments to curtail human trafficking, will pay the Virgin Islands $75 million. JP Morgan said it was not conceding any liability and reiterated it deeply regrets any association with Epstein. And that's the Business Minute. I'm Raquel Porter.
And here's a preview of what's coming up in this evening's Health Report. In this evening's Health Report, we look at mad cow disease.
Things like ensuring that sick cattle are not slaughtered, right, to be pushed off for public consumption. There are licensed abattoirs within the country that these public health inspectorate, which falls under the auspices of the local health departments throughout the island, they are responsible for inspecting these meats. They are responsible for passing these meats.
That's the Health Report in Primetime News at 7. And now for today's Healthy Living tip. Avoid beef products that could contain spinal cord or brain tissue. This includes ground beef, sausage, and hot dogs. And if you travel to a country where mad cow disease has been detected, avoid beef. Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, officials in Haiti say armed men fired on a hospital on Tuesday. They damaged an infant care unit, leaving patients in shock. However, no one at the facility was hurt. According to the United Nations, since the start of the year, over 2,000 people have died in violence in that country. For months, there have been calls for an international force to intervene, and earlier this month, the United States said up to a dozen countries had offered support while pledging its own logistical assistance. The WHO says young people continue to be relentlessly targeted with tobacco and nicotine products, and that the tobacco industry's approach has resulted in increased use of e-cigarettes. It says these products have been made more affordable for young people, owing to the sale of single-use cigarettes and e-cigarettes. And a New York judge has ruled that Donald Trump repeatedly misrepresented his wealth by up to $3.6 billion to banks and insurers. The decision resolves a key claim made by New York's Attorney General in her civil lawsuit against the former president. It is a blow for Mr. Trump ahead of the civil trial, which begins on Monday. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Kelisha Williams.
Thank you, Kelisha. We head to a quick break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report with Spencer Darlington.